everyone, and welcome back to another moon update. Today we are having our first full moon of 2024, and it is in the sign of Leo. I've cleansed and cleared the space, and I have to say the energy is feeling so good. It feels so like uplifting and lovely and happy and joyful, and I just feel like there's so many angels and spirit guides here, and everyone just seems so happy to be here and lively. And it just feels so good. I just had to share that with you guys like right off the bat. But yes, how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? Please share with me. I'm dying to know. These energies have been pretty intense personally for me. Let me know if you're feeling it too. But in the best way. Even though, yes, like it's also been feeling very hectic and chaotic and messy and all over the place. It's for the best is what I'm realizing, what I'm noticing, everything that's coming up. If you guys have listened to my last couple moon updates, you'll know that I've mentioned about the astrology and how I do think it's a slippery slope. It can be for some people that rely like too heavily on it. Me, for one, I thought that I should back off because so much of the things that were happening in my life were correlating heavily to the astrology, and I just wasn't sure like if that was genuine or if it was kind of like my mind being primed for it, because like how sometimes when you talk about something, let's say like a car, like yellow cars or a specific type of car, and you talk about it and then you just start seeing that car everywhere you go because you just talked about it. So it's kind of like at the forefront of your mind. I felt like maybe I could have been doing that with the astrology. So that's why I kind of like prefer sometimes to not even look at what's happening, and I'd rather just live my life and, become aware of something after the fact. I just feel more comfortable with it going down like that. And that is exactly what happened with this Pluto in Aquarius transit. Obviously, I know that Pluto is making this big transit because Pluto is a very slow-moving planet. So the fact that it's moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius has been a big deal since last year, since we did get a taste of this. Like Pluto did already come into Aquarius at some point last year, and then it went back into Capricorn. And now it came back into Aquarius, and it's actually going to go back into Capricorn before it fully makes its transition into Aquarius for good by the end of this year. But yeah, it was like a really big deal, a really big transit that so many people were talking about. And you guys, I swear to you, I didn't know what day that this was happening. And literally on the day that it happened, I had a pretty Plutonian experience. Like I had a pretty deep conversation that I was not expecting to have, completely not expecting to have. I woke up that morning like not thinking this was ever going to happen. Like this conversation that I had was something that I had already, like I thought, made peace within myself. It's something that I just decided never needed to come out, that I was just going to deal with this with myself, within myself. And yeah, like it's something that I just kind of like put down, and I guess Pluto had different plans for me because it came up, it unearthed, and it's very Plutonian because it's stuff that I had inside of me for such a long time. Like I'm talking like 12 years worth of stuff that I was just like holding inside, and it all came out. And it was intense, and I couldn't believe it. Like as I was having the conversation, now as I was talking, I'm like, is this happening? Like what? I couldn't believe like what the words that were coming out of my mouth and my ears and like what I was hearing, and it was just such a surreal moment that I never thought was going to happen. And then later on that day, I read that Pluto moved into Aquarius, and I'm just like, you gotta be effing kidding me right now. It was crazy. I was like, okay, well, it makes a lot of sense now. And yeah, I've been on this journey where I I guess I'm just not as repressed. Like, I'm expressing myself more, and I, expressed this a little bit, I think, last time too, or the reading prior. And, the delivery is it's still a little messy, but at least I'm expressing myself, right? At least it's coming out. So I am giving myself grace, even if it's not where I want it to be just yet. I'm giving myself grace. I'm a human with emotions, especially when it's like really like sensitive, delicate emotions that have been held in for so long and have been built up. And I don't know, like, now I feel like this is definitely like a good thing, even though at the time I didn't. Like, afterwards, after that conversation, for the rest of that day, I just felt very exposed and very vulnerable and just very sensitive. But I'm feeling so much better, and I'm honestly so proud of myself. And yeah, so that's kind of like how the energy has been affecting me. I'd love to know, like, how are you guys feeling this energy? I'm super curious. I'm still on go, go, go. Like, the year came in and I've been so busy, but so grateful, so deeply grateful. Like, every single day, I'm just so happy, to be living the life that I'm living and to have made the choices that I've made that have led to like this life that I built, this life that I created, and being able to experience it every day. I'm just so deeply grateful. And am I busy? Absolutely. Am I tired? Absolutely. But I'm grateful, like, I have the energy and the vitality, and I'm vibrant, so I'm like able to keep up with it all. And I'm doing stuff that like I love, that I'm so happy to be doing. So I'm in a really good place, you guys. It's been so powerful so far this year, like this month. It's been really, really powerful. And I'm feeling really, really happy. I feel like this is a really happy, positive full moon. So as we know, full moons are times when things are being like illuminated. Something is being shown to us, or something could be coming like full circle. So you may want to check out the new moon in Leo reading that I did. I actually haven't checked that reading out myself because I've been so busy, but I'm going to, just to see like if anything correlates from that time, or if anything like developed and matured from that time until now. But yeah, full moons indicate like a time to wrap something up. And with it being in the sign of Leo, Leo to me is all about the heart. Leo represents the heart. And this is a sign that's very happy, that's very generous, loving, that shines so bright, and that is authentically themselves. When we're talking about the high vibrational expression of Leo. And as you know, like, our heart is king. This is where we should be getting our drive from, our ambition is from our heart, from our authenticity, from what we feel inside, what we feel excited about, what we feel drawn to. If we just surrender to the flow of the universe, surrender the mind and not go based off of like facts and logic and, what's textbook knowledge, and, be so matter of fact. Of course, that energy is needed. It exists. So it's needed in its own time and place, in the right amount, but it should only be utilized in the direction that the heart is leading you towards. Then that's when you can apply that energy so that you can stay as true to yourself as possible and not let your mind or your logic or, like your left brain thinking overcome the part of you that feels and wants to relate and has that deeper inner wisdom and knowingness of what's right for you. So I feel like these are themes that we could be feeling during this time of this moon cycle. So I'm going to start pulling cards, finally. Let's see what Spirit wants to tell us on a collective level for those of us that are here, tuned in, what Spirit would like to highlight for us, what they want us to take a look at, think about, contemplate, integrate during this time. Let's see. And one more. Looks very positive, just like I was feeling. Okay, let's see what else comes up. Oh, it's a little crooked now that I'm seeing it on the camera. Hold on. Okay, better. I'm going to be pulling some oracle cards. We got Ascension. Oh my goodness. I love it. And self-love. I love that. Should I pull another one from here? I think I'm going to stick with the two. And then I'm going to get some from this deck. And we got Spiritual Transformation and Aphrodite. Set these over here. Okay. And this is the Aphrodite card in case you want to look at it. Okay, so what I'm seeing with these cards so far is that right now it's a time for you to really invest in yourself. I'm hearing in yourself. But what I was initially going to say is it's a time for you to invest in like your dreams and what it is that you feel you want, you know, that you find yourself daydreaming about, that you feel would make you really happy. You know, like think about like if you could be living your dream life, if you could be doing something that you loved, what would that be? You know, whatever comes to mind, Spirit is telling you to invest in it, to give to it in whatever way you can. Even if right now that's just daydreaming about it, journaling about it, thinking about it, dreaming about it, brainstorming, but to just give it energy, like give it some of your time. And if you know what step to take next, to start to give it form, like what practical step you can take next to move towards it, to be able to manifest it, then do it, then do that. Do like the next best thing that you know to do, to move closer to making this vision a reality. Spirit wants you to like get curious, you know, to get out of the box that you're in and to dream bigger. Some of you guys may feel like it's too good to be true, or that's exactly what it is, a dream that could never happen. But like that saying goes, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. You know, if your mind can think of it, then it's possible. And if you feel like it's impossible, that's your mind. Remember we were talking about like our minds getting in the way of our feelings, of our emotions, of what we want, or not even what we want, but it's just like what feels right to us, what feels natural, what feels authentic. I watched this movie. It's called How to Train Your Dragon, and I know it's like a super old movie, and I had already seen it a really long time ago, but I just recently rewatched it with my son. He wanted to watch it, and it was perfect. Like it came at such a perfect moment because I actually watched it on that day that I told you guys that I had that intense conversation that I wasn't expecting to have. And it was exactly what I needed, and it made me feel so much better. And I think it's absolutely perfect for this energy because I might give some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, maybe fast forward a little bit. But in that movie, the main character, he still tries to fit in, to like the status quo and to what he believes he needs to be doing, because he feels like he's otherwise not accepted. And him staying true to himself, to his heart, to what he feels is what leads him towards his victory, towards his own personal success, towards his purpose. Even though he didn't know how, he didn't have any of the answers. Logically, it didn't make sense, because the books that he had access to, they all depicted these dragons to be very dangerous. And he had this book that had all of these facts about the dragons and to avoid them for, all of these specific reasons. So if he would have followed the book, like the facts, and just gone with what everyone does, with what they were taught based off of the facts of the situation, that dragons are dangerous, that dragons kill them, kill their people, then he would have let that override his heart, because they had like this rule that if you are in front of a dragon, or like if you have the opportunity to kill the dragon, you kill the dragon, they're dangerous. And so when he came face to face with that situation, he couldn't do it. And so he felt like, is there something wrong with me? How come I couldn't do it? Like, it's supposed to be in my blood to just do this. Like, this is who we are. This is what we do. Why couldn't I do it? So it didn't make logical sense to him, but he followed his heart. He let his heart override his logic. And again, the story unfolds from there, which eventually leads him down to his victory. And there's a part where the girl asks him, she asks him, why didn't you do it? Like, why didn't you kill the dragon? Most of us would have. And his mind, answers first. And he's like, because I was weak, because I was a coward. But then his heart comes on and takes over. And then he was like, because I noticed that the dragon was just as afraid as I was. So he connected with it. He related to it. Something that his people didn't really naturally possess. It wasn't one of their natural qualities, but he had it. And he had it for a reason. And he was the reason that things turned around, for his whole society. And then it gave him a stronger sense of self-esteem, when he saw oh, this isn't for nothing. My heart didn't lead me astray. I wasn't being stupid. I was being truthful. I was being true to myself. I was being honest to myself, despite what my mind and my logic and everything, the books and the facts were saying. It showed you love was the answer. Relating, connecting. It creates meaningful, beautiful relationships with others, but also it supports a strong, genuine love with yourself. So Spirit really wants you to gain that trust in self and to connect to your heart. And really, this is a time to really feel into it. What do you like? What do you love? What lights you up? What excites you? If you could wake up tomorrow and your life was perfect, what would that be? What would that entail? What does that look like? And then you have something to go off of. Now you have something that you're okay, well, what's the first little step I can do? How can I start to make this life a reality? Because Spirit is telling you that it's possible, that you can do it over time with the right actions. You can make it happen. It's not an impossibility. And that's why they're saying get curious, open up your mind, expand, your vision for what's possible in your life. Where attention flows, energy goes. Or yeah, I think that's how it goes. So it's just a matter of giving it attention and giving it your time, your energy, investing into it, making it happen slowly but surely, and believing in yourself and believing in your vision. And knowing that even if it is hard, even if you do have to go through some hardships, some difficulties, some obstacles, they're all there for a reason. It's not in vain. It's there to transform you, to change you, to shift you, to expand you, to show you another way, to destroy what is no longer serving you. And sometimes that does mean that you're going to go through like a big shakeup, you know? But it's like you're getting to know yourself better and you're building trust in yourself and you're realizing that life is in your hands and that you have every single resource and tool and skill that you need right here, right now, in this moment to move towards what's meant for you, to feel like you are on path, like you are living out your purpose right here, right now. As you're listening to this, you have everything you need in this moment to take that first step, to move in that direction. It's just the way that it is. And it's just a matter of you realizing that it's not like some far-fetched dream or some crazy idea. We all have what we need right here, right now. Our life was created that perfect. You just have to relax and release, surrender. If you make it the meaning of your life to clear any of these mental obstructions from believing that things that aren't comfortable are things that you want to avoid. When things are uncomfortable, it's because it's showing you that there's a misalignment there. And misalignments and obstacles are opportunities for you to grow, for you to get things back into alignment. It's just part of life. And this is how you move closer to feeling at peace. You know, we feel at peace when we feel like we are living our purpose, when we are on path, when our heart is happy, you know, when we listen to our heart and our heart is happy and our heart feels heard. So when I say, you know, make it the meaning of your life to get clean inside, it's to listen to your heart and to surrender to it and to clean the distorted thought patterns and thinking that are getting in the way of that, of you being able to achieve that. Because again, every single moment right now in front of you is exactly what you need to rise spiritually. That's literally how perfect everything is. And even when things feel chaotic and when you don't know what's happening, when everything feels upside down, when you have no clue what's going to come of it, how is it all going to come together? How is it all going to fall into place? Even in those moments, you have to remember that there is still order in the chaos. And that's why you have to trust. That's why you have to surrender. And it's part of the process. It's always part of the process to like find yourself in that really weird, dark place that just feels like a big knot you're trying to get yourself out of. It's part of the process. And it's part of the growth that your soul is being called to go through. So don't resist it. It's love. Like it's literally the universe loving you. And if you can shift your perspective and see it like that, instead of like, I'm being punished, I'm cursed, oh my God, what's happening? It's like a form of love. What you're going through is happening because the universe loves you, because spirit loves you, because this is what you have to be going through in order to ascend, in order to go through your spiritual transformation that is going to bring you closer to your heart, to your authenticity, to your true self. You're going to know yourself more clearly, more better. That's really when you can flourish, when you can really grow into yourself, when you can really like make something of yourself and, you know, build in whatever way you need to build. You are absolutely capable and you have everything you need and you always did. So it's just a matter of believing in yourself and trusting yourself and taking the responsibility and doing what's right for you to become, you know, sovereign and in control of yourself, of your life, of what you create, of what you manifest, of what you give to. So many of us are giving to things we don't want to be giving to, or investing into things that we truly don't want to. It's like we just think it's what's right. Logically, it makes sense. The numbers match up, you know? The statistics say so. You know, how about your heart? I'm hearing like, but what about love? I don't know if that's like from a song or something. Your heart is like knocking like, hello, is there someone you're failing to consider? The most important one of all? And here you are ignoring me. So your heart is like, no. And I feel like with this full moon, that is what we are being empowered to do, encouraged to do. We're encouraged to like make this shift, make this change, to dive into this, to not be afraid. I feel like a lot of the work that we're doing, we're not really connected to. Maybe it's just, it makes sense because I'm going to make a good amount of money or something. But if you really took the time to like think about it and do a little bit of research on what it is that you would actually, enjoy, you would get ideas. You would really get ideas. And then you would be able to find a way forward. After you go through the heart first. You have to go through your heart first. This is like where true wisdom lies, to then apply logic to that. Like, okay, this is what would make me happy. This is what I feel connected to. This is what I feel drawn to. Now, how can I make this happen? What practical steps, what logical steps, what logic do I need to apply to bring this into fruition? What skill set do I need to build up? What certifications do I need? Whatever it is. What training do I need? What do I need to learn? What do I need to expose myself to? What do I need to work on? What blockages are in the way? What blockages, what obstacles are presenting themselves? Where is it that life is showing me that something is misaligned? It'll all fall into place, And you're going to be shown, you're going to be led. All you have to do is choose it. It's just choose yourself, choose you, choose your heart, choose what's true to you, and give to that. I feel like you're going to be led down a journey that is going to have you loving yourself, being so proud of yourself and loving who you are, loving who you've become. You're going to be so happy on the other side of this spiritual transformation. You're going to feel so capable, so self-sufficient, so valuable, so worthy, so large and in charge, so ready to take anything on and to make good decisions, to make good choices. But it is going to take time for you to be able to see that the direction you're going in is going to give you fruit. Maybe that's not going to be apparent right away. And that's why there is that element of surrender and trust and just staying true to yourself and being who you are, being your own best friend, If no one else believes in you during this process, trusts you, if you feel alone, if you feel like you don't have support, you always have support. You have your own support, which is enough, your own validation, your own love, your own friendship, but also you have the support of your guides, your angels, your ancestors on the other side. You're never alone. Being alone is an illusion. And you can call on them. You can always call on them and they'll show up for you. They'll be there. Even if it's just you find a feather, it's from them, feathers are known to be from your spirit guides. Or any sign, any synchronicity, they'll be there for you. They'll be putting everything that you need in your path to continue guiding you along the way. You're never alone. So yeah, you guys, it's not an easy path, choosing this. It's not easy. It's going to come with shakeups, with uncertainties, with obstacles, with mountains you have to climb. But it's all things that your soul came here to work on, to overcome. And so it's a matter of you staying stuck and staying in a place where you don't feel at peace, or you can create this peace. You can move towards this peace by doing the work that you need to do so that you can start seeing things more clear. And that's what's going to bring peace. Right now, you may be following the wrong truth, the wrong advice. And also they're saying right now is not a time to put your mind and communication and logic and all of that above what you're feeling, your heart, your dreams, your spirituality, your connection to whatever it is, that you feel drawn to, that you feel connected to, that you want to give to. Because you investing in whatever that is, it's only strengthening you, yourself, your character, who you are. and what you have to give, what you have to offer, your gifts, your skill sets, your tools, your resources. This is what you're growing, you're giving to. This is what you're investing into. You're prioritizing yourself. You're going to love yourself, love who you are and who you've become after it all, after this whole process, when it's all said and done. But the choice is yours. You do have to make that choice. I feel like a lot of us are ready to make it happen for ourselves today, right here, right now, in this life, in this lifetime. So start, because maybe down the line, when you're much older and you look back in retrospect, you're going to wish that you made a different decision. That's another activity you can do, is kind of like when you're 90 years old, like think of yourself at 90 years old. What are the things that you want to make sure that you did? You don't want to be 90 years old and be like, I wish I would have followed my heart. I wish I would have just tried it. So whatever captivates you, move in that direction. Whatever excites you, move in that direction. Whatever is drawing you in, move in that direction. Because if you don't, I feel like you're going to feel guilty, and you're going to have regrets about it. And you're going to feel like it was a bad decision in the long run. So don't assume that it's like the worst idea and that it's only going to go up in flames and fail. You never know what can happen in time and what you'll be led to, where this path can take you. And going with your heart feels good. It's not what you want or what you prefer or what you have attachments to, or maybe like what you're addicted to or have addictions to. It's something that's pure. It feels pure. Heart is pure energy. So remember that. It's not necessarily what you want, but what your soul needs. It's not necessarily what's going to feel good at first, because there's indication that it's not going to feel good. It might get a little crazy, a little chaotic. But if you can move past preference and aversions and just stick to responsibility. You're responsible for this. You're responsible to go through this, to do this work. If that can be like your focus, then you will know that these discomforts, they will come and they will go. And it's going to be so worth it once it shifts and moves and changes whatever it needs to in your life to lead you towards growth and ascension. Okay, guys, so those were our messages for this full moon in Leo. I truly hope these messages have served you for whatever you may be finding yourself going through at this time. I hope it's giving you guidance, reassurance, love, support. If you feel like you need a little bit more or a more personalized message and guidance and advice, I do offer personal readings. I will leave my information in the description box below. I would be so happy to connect with you and to work with you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Take good care of yourselves. Big hugs, so much love. As always, you got this. And until next time, bye guys.